With his left hand, he fumbled along the wall for a light switch, but didn't find one. He shuffled back slightly and pressed his mic button. 411, suspect has fled into a dark basement. I need the first 2 units to secure the perimeter of the house. Start at least 1 more unit to relieve the canine. Mark, come in here with me and we'll call him out. Jackie acknowledged, followed by a clipped copy from Murph and a hurried click from Mark. Jackie immediately dispatched 2 more officers to the call, but Lee didn't pay attention. Instead, he looked over his shoulder so he could see the woman on the couch. Both she and Melody were staring at him. Is there a door in the basement? He asked the woman. Her only response was a dazed expression. He noticed a trickle of blood flowing from her nose. Can he get out of the basement? He asked, changing the question to jar her. She shook her head. No door, and the windows are all too small. Lee had seen enough people get into or through small spaces to doubt it, but he still wasn't going to plunge into a dark basement by himself. The best bet was to use the canine if the suspect didn't slip out a window first. No doors in the basement, he transmitted. Small windows. Jackie copied. Lee shuffled back to the open doorway. He withdrew his flashlight and snapped it on. Then he shined it down the dark stairway, illuminating it. He glanced over his shoulder again. Now the woman stood in the entryway next to Melody, watching him. She'd wiped the blood from her face, but her expression remained confused. Are you Rosetta? He asked her. She nodded. Lee jerked his head toward the basement. And that's Tamik? She nodded again, but stopped halfway through. Don't hurt him, she pleaded, her face twisted with concern. Please, we was just having a bad night on account his mama died. Okay, Lee interrupted. He didn't need to know anything more at the moment. There'd be time later to sort out all the minor details. Right now, he had probable cause that an order for protection had been violated. The assault on Rosetta made it a felony. Plus, Tamik had warrants. All of that was more than enough to make the arrest and secure the situation. He could interview her and get the rest after. Please, the woman repeated. Lee didn't reply. Instead, he turned his head back to the basement. Then he did a double take. Tamik Osmond stood at the base of the stairs, glaring up at him.